Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. We're here in our trading center in Medellin, Colombia. If you guys haven't been here to Colombia, I highly recommend it. People are great, great weather. This is really why I ended up getting my base here. But today we're going to be answering all your questions in this series of Ask Marcello. Don't forget, if you guys have any questions, just put them with the hashtag AskMarcello. I'll be happy to go ahead and pull all those questions for you. And also don't forget to subscribe here to the channel. Obviously, I'll be happy to go ahead and continue to do these questions and answer sessions if you guys obviously like them. The question I have here is from Steven Jalisi.
What is the path to follow before and once the market collapses?
So one of the things, I think it's Stefan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, there always is an economic cycle, right? So whenever there's a boom, there's always a bust. Whenever there's economic expansion, there's always economic contraction. So we've been in this kind of, I don't know what to call it, this kind of, let's call it the matrix. We've been in this world where we can't have a recession, we can't have a drop in the market. Everything has to be good all the time. Nobody can feel any pain. That's kind of like the world that we're in right now, and it's been helped by the government's quantitative easing, very policy of low interest rates and also printing money, which essentially just means buying their own debt. So that's what's caused, part of the reason that it's caused this, the bubble that we're currently seeing in the market. And these are all my opinions, by the way, right? Just to kind of give you that out there, don't automatically assume what I'm saying is correct. Go out and do your research if you guys want. But I've been doing this for quite some time, so I believe my opinion is something that you guys should value. So if you look, Stefan, at the history, what people have invested in or what has been secure since the beginning of time, for me, that has to do with real estate or things that are tangible. Businesses that make money, real estate, precious metals. I personally am not that big of a fan of Bitcoin yet because I don't think that long term, it's going to do what people say it's going to do, but obviously we'll get into that with the fanatics of Bitcoin a little bit later. But some of you might say that Bitcoin is kind of, one of those places where you can put your money to preserve your value. All of these things, in my opinion, the best thing would be the businesses that make money, precious metals, which never go out of style. People have been using precious metals since Roman times, and things like real estate. So I believe that we're in a transition period now where instead of going from a unipolar world like the empire of the United States running things since the fall of the Russian Empire, that now we're going to go to a multipolar world where we're going to have multiple, let's call it, economies or powers in every region. In the West, obviously, we'll have the United States. In the middle, we'll have Europe. Then we'll have obviously India, China, and they'll have to give way to places like Japan and possibly even South Korea. So those are kind of the powers that are going to be kind of, let's say, controlling things or putting things where they need to be. So you want to invest in things that are, and obviously do your own research, right? I don't want you guys to just go out and do something just because I said so. I want you guys to make sure that it's good for you. Just because I'm mentioning this to you doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best thing for your certain situation. So I want to make sure I point that out to you guys. So in my scenario, what I'm doing personally is I've bought a lot of gold and silver. I've bought physical as well as virtual, obviously online. I believe that gold and silver have a very, very high upside. So one of the things that I've done is I've investigated a wide variety of miners, silver miners and gold miners, not only in the US, but other countries as well. Because if you notice that when gold and silver rises or falls in terms of a really strong movement, the miners tend to overshoot. So the idea with that is, well, if silver's gonna pop or slam, whatever you think direction it's gonna go, the silver miners always tend to overshoot. So if silver just goes up from here to here, then the silver miners will go up to here. So that's another thing that I'm doing. For example, Stefan, I'm investing in real estate outside of the United States to not only play the emerging economy trend, because obviously a place like Colombia right now, in my opinion, is devalued in certain places. So you look for those places and you invest in order to get the evaluation, right? Because Colombia has been kind of, Medellin more than anything in other cities has been a bit closed off to the world, and now they're kind of opening up with the peace agreement and governments that are pro foreign investment, you know, all of these things. And obviously that also plays in terms of the dollar, because if you buy real estate in another country and the dollar's really, really high right now, well, you use the power of the dollar to be able to invest, and then when it drops, you automatically make a 30-40% return on your investment. And well, there's some tax things there as well. I won't mention them here, but I'm sure you guys can find them. So those are the things, Stefan, that I would actually recommend to invest in, or the things that people have invested in since the history of time. Obviously now everybody doesn't say, you know, people say that silver and gold are not investments and you should do other things. Obviously investing in businesses is very good too, to be able to get a good return on your money. So those are actually the things that I would recommend, Stefan. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. Don't forget to put the hashtag AskMarcello, and I'll be happy to go ahead and ask, or answer, I should say, all the questions you guys ask for.